So the young Philly situation just got a whole lot worse. And I know that's going to throw some of you because the version going around is the complete opposite. He walked, he's cleared, case closed. That's what half the internet took from it. And I get why, because that's the headline everyone saw. Not guilty of raping a woman. You read that, you scroll on, you assume the worst is behind him. It isn't, not even close. Because young Philly left that courtroom a convicted criminal. 2 convictions, 3 rape charges that didn't get thrown out, they just didn't get finished. A hearing next month to decide his sentence and whether he has to do the whole thing again. The headline said one thing, the verdict said something a lot heavier. And the gap between those two is the entire video. And you have to understand who this guy actually was, because that's what makes it land. Young Philly wasn't some fringe internet character. Colombian-born, London-raised, and for a good stretch there, he was one of the most likable people in the entire British creator scene. Beta Squad, the loud one, the funny one, the one you were always glad showed up, and he did the thing almost none of them manage. He crossed over into real TV. BBC Three handed him his own show to present, Channel 4 put him on Celebrity Bake Off, ITV put him on Soccer Aid. And in 2021, the Mobos gave him Best Media Personality, not Best YouTuber, Best Media Personality, up against people from actual telly. He and Chunks had a live show that sold real tickets. Foot Asylum built a whole series around him. The Sidemen kept pulling him in. If you were anywhere near UK content in the last 5 years, you knew young Philly, and you probably liked him. That's the guy. Hold on to that because it's about to go somewhere very dark. September 2024. He's on tour in Australia, doing shows. Everything's fine. He performs at a venue in Hillary's just outside Perth, goes back to his hotel, and what a 20-year-old woman says happened in that hotel room is what the next 2 years of his life come down to. 10 charges, 6 counts of rape, 3 of assault, 1 of choking. He gets arrested in Melbourne that October, sent back to Perth, and bailed on the condition he doesn't leave Western Australia. And that's where he stays, stuck on the other side of the world for the best part of 2 years, waiting on a trial that would decide everything.
A British YouTuber known as Young Philly has been found not guilty of raping a woman in Perth, but has been found guilty of assault.
So here's what the jury actually came back with, because this is the part nobody's reading properly. 10 counts on 5 of them, not guilty, 3 of the 6 rape charges, the choking charge, and 1 of the assaults, the one about a slap. So yeah, on those 5, he's cleared, and that's real. On 2 counts, guilty. Both assault occasioning bodily harm, both about biting. The jury looked at it and decided those happened, and then the last 3. 3 counts of rape where the jury just couldn't agree. Not cleared, not convicted, hung, which means they don't go away. They sit there, and the prosecution gets to decide whether to run the whole trial again. So that's the scoreboard. 2 convictions, 3 rape charges, still live, and a man the internet is calling innocent. And this is the part that genuinely got to me, because it wasn't some clout account that spread the wrong story. It was the BBC. Young Philly found not guilty of raping a woman. That's what they went with. And is it technically true? On 3 of the 6 counts, yes. But you tell 300,000 people that a man was found not guilty of rape, and you leave out that he was convicted of assault in the same breath, and 3 more counts are still hanging over him. You haven't informed anyone. You've done the opposite.
A jury has found the 30-year-old rapper guilty on 2 charges of assault causing bodily harm.
The BBC's own tweet got a community note. Random people on the internet had to walk in and fill in what the national broadcaster left out. That's the state of it. The correction under the post is doing more journalism than the post. So let's actually count what worse means here, because it's not nothing. He's a convicted criminal now. That's not a vibe. That's a fact with a court date attached. He's back in front of a judge on August 21st, where they set his sentence for the 2 assaults and where the prosecution says whether they're retrying the 3 rape counts. So best case for him, he gets sentenced and it's finally over. Worst case, he's doing all of this again next year. And it doesn't even stop in Australia, because there's a second one, a separate investigation in Spain, a different woman, a different allegation in Magaluf reported to UK police after she got home. Spanish investigators have been looking into it since early last year and even tried to question him while the Perth trial was still going. Nothing there has been proven, and it's completely separate from this verdict. But the idea that the 31st of July was the end of Young Philly's legal problems, he's got open cases in 2 countries. That's what worse means. Not a new charge dropped today, just the distance between he walked and where he's actually standing. And online, it's split straight down the middle, which tracks perfectly with the headline mess. One half is celebrating, he beat it, he's cleared, leave him alone. And honestly, if the Sky News tweet is all you saw, I don't even blame you. You were handed a wrong conclusion by people who should have known better. The other half is the ones actually reading, pointing out that not guilty of rape and not guilty are two completely different sentences, and that the man they're defending was just convicted of assault. But here's the thing, both sides are kind of missing. The career? That was already gone. The second he got charged back in 2024, it started coming apart in real time. Foot Asylum cut him loose the same week. The Chunks in Philly live show canceled, tickets refunded. The Sidemen quietly pulled their old video with him. Even Chunks, the guy he built half his career next to, could only put out a short, careful statement and then basically disappear from it. None of that waited for a jury. The verdict was almost a formality. The public had already delivered its own.
Not guilty on 3 charges of penetration without consent. Barrientos is expected to return to court next month for a sentence.
And I want to sit on the trial itself for a second, because one exchange in it tells you why the jury landed where it did. The prosecution brought photos, bite marks, and bruising on the woman's face, her neck, her body. A forensic dentist got up and testified the injuries were consistent with human biting. The woman's account was that the sex started consensually, and then he got rougher, biting hard enough to break skin, hard enough she needed a tetanus shot, slapping her, choking her until she was trying to tap out. Then young Philly took the stand, admitted the biting, and called them love bites. His words, in England, we would call it a love bite, that my mouth was on her skin, it involved sucking, and my teeth were involved to some extent. He admitted the biting and denied everything around it, and the 2 things the jury convicted him of were the 2 things he stood up and confirmed he did. The rest they couldn't agree on. You can hold both of those in your head at the same time, and most people online are refusing to. So where does that leave him? Out on bail, convicted on 2 counts, back in court August 21st to find out how long that costs him and whether he's retried on 3 more. A second investigation open in Spain, and a career that was over long before any of this reached a verdict. And what stays with me isn't even the verdict. It's how easily the wrong version won. One technically true headline, a scroll away from the truth, and a convicted man gets to spend a day being congratulated for clearing his name. He didn't clear his name. He also wasn't convicted of rape. Both of those are true, and everyone online has picked one and deleted the other. The situation didn't end, it got worse, and in August, we find out how much. So real question, do the prosecutors go again on those 3 counts, or do they let it go? Tell me what you think down in the comments. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.